Coverage Genius Podcast, Episode 1. What's up, Genius Nation? I hope you're all doing well. My name is George, and I want to welcome you to the first ever episode of the Coverage Genius Podcast. In this episode, I'll share a little bit about myself, why I'm starting this podcast, what this podcast will be about, and what to expect in future episodes. So, are you ready, Genius Nation? Well then, let's get started. Genius Nation, my name is George, and I want to welcome you to the Coverage Genius Podcast. Since my earliest memory, I've always been curious about things. When I was young, I really enjoyed taking things apart and putting them back together. As I got older, I would find myself pondering about why things were the way they were and what made them work. College gave me an opportunity to really explore. During a time when .coms were a dime a dozen, I was so curious about startups that I enrolled in an entrepreneurial course at my school. That course launched my exploration into the startup world, where I learned about how businesses were started and run. I was bitten by the entrepreneurial bug, so much so that I even started a .com myself. Ever since, that bug has never gone away. Over the years, I've been involved in a number of opportunities to start businesses, a few of which went really well, while the others, not so well. Along the journey, I've problem-solved my way out of many hairy messes, and I've even provided consultation to those in need with their business problems. Remarkably, not only did I learn tremendously about myself, but I've been blessed to meet so many amazing and talented individuals. Learning about them and their backgrounds gave me insight into their lives to understand why they do what they do and what makes them tick. Oddly enough, these tidbits have had a huge influence on my life that I wondered if others would find this information valuable as well. The recent rise of Asian hate crimes in the U.S. has sparked a new sense of curiosity in me. Why are these things happening to Asians in this day and age? Asians as a group have worked so hard and come so far, so why the hate? But instead of focusing on these horrible and disgusting acts, I wondered if I could have a more positive impact on society by shedding light on Asians and their successes. Perhaps this could make a difference. Could I make a difference? Hence, the Coverage Genius Podcast. I have two main goals for this podcast. The first is to introduce to you, the listeners, successful Asians within the communities that we live, whether it be in the U.S. or anywhere else in the world. To me, success isn't solely defined by the amount of money you make, but rather a combination of many things, which hopefully will be revealed throughout the life of this podcast. The second is that hopefully, as you meet these amazing individuals and hear about their stories and insights, maybe you too will learn something that can transform your life. Maybe you'll experience a spark of curiosity that will lead you on a journey you never were expecting. Or maybe you'll develop an appreciation for something you've never realized before. Here, I will conduct interviews and have discussions on a variety of topics with a focus on careers, tips of the trade, and entrepreneurship. I'll ask questions that are both fun and serious with the hope of bringing more awareness and understanding of what the Asian community brings to the table. If this is something that interests you, well, then I hope you'll follow along with us and subscribe to this podcast. My goal is to interview Asians from all walks of life. If you have any suggestions or recommendations on who I should interview, then please send me an email at coveragegenius@gmail.com and provide as much info as possible on the person. The more info you provide, the better. And hey, you never know. I might just interview your choice and give you a shout out in the podcast. Well, you've made it. Hey, I made it. We're at the end of the first episode. If you hung around until the end, then I want to truly thank you for sticking it out with me. This is my first foray into podcasting, and I'm sure there will be a lot of mistakes made and a lot of lessons learned. But I'm also sure that if you stick along with me throughout this journey, you'll definitely get something out of it. Trust me. So thanks for stopping by, Genius Nation. This is George saying to you, I'll see you next time.